All right, welcome to Tea Trail. I'm your host, T Rad, and on today's episode of Tea Trail, we're going to be looking at Aikido, the joy of the journey, and the evolution of all things. I'm T Rad, so I think I might just gush a little bit and explain how I came to find Aikido. I will gush because it was a grading on Saturday just gone. Um, so I did what was known as 6th Q, which is the first grading within Aikido, and I was fortunate enough to join. I think there were 44 of us in the dojo, which is just up the road. It's quite small and compact and bijou place. It's an old church, which kind of resonates with me. There were various grades going on. Some of the guys are just hugely honed and sharpened in their skills. And then others of us are still soft from being thrown to the floor repeatedly and kind of moving out of our head and into our body, which is a large part of what Aikido is. So there's a little bit of gushing. So how did it come around? As two of my favourite things in my experience at the moment, just repetition of passing them day in and day out on my running journey. So the dojo where I attend Aikido is in the Lickers, in the foothills of the Lickers. So I used to quite often run past it and drive past it regularly, and after maybe, 500 times of driving past and seeing this picture of Sensei and Isram in this beautiful posture, I kind of called it in. And the first time I went was maybe 4 years ago. It was just before I started my treading trail journey. And I went along for maybe 4 weeks, and I had quite a decent sized car crash after that. But within those 4 weeks, it was enough to whet my appetite, and it also showed me like a breathing technique, which I then applied to running, which kind of changed my running for the better. It improved it immensely. So it took me about 4 years to go back, and boy, I'm pleased I did. It's amazing. Sensei, Chris Mooney, is just this most incredible man who studied for, like the best part of 45 years. He just has this most beautiful energy about him. He can be sharp and soft, humorous and serious. Just a beautifully balanced man, and I'm really grateful for having met Sensei and being part of the family, the Aikido family. So Aikido is known as the way of harmonious being, or the way of harmonious spirit. Aiki means harmony, or spirit, and Do means the way. So growing up, I was always very attracted to all things Eastern. So this, in many ways, it's kind of like my marriage for West meets East, and oh my gosh. So I've been going since April, and I have learnt so much about myself and about others and about the wider world, and kind of what Aikido is. So Aikido was the last of the martial arts to be founded, and O Sensei, the original teacher, Mohorei Oshibo, don't quote me on that, kind of realised that, do you know what, fighting's just a bit futile, really. We could have a conversation, or at least we could move in a way which depletes the aggressor of their energy, and it's that energy that we use to kind of nullify the attack or place them lovingly on the floor and then offer them hugs and love. So to quite a few people, and it did me and it still does, it has a feel of dancing, sort of stepping out of the way, and spirals, man. Everything is spirals, and as you know, kind of DNA is just, well, it's the heart of everything, right? And everything is made of circles. Like the 369 video, the Nikola Tesla. If you're looking for one in particular, I'd go for one by Gary Light. It's just mind-blowing. So then, yeah, like planets are made of spheres. Carbon atoms, which are the fundamental building block of all existence, are spheres. So spheres, and when we move around those spheres, we can find ways to generate energy by using as little amount of input as possible, which generates the greatest amount of output possible. So yeah, Aikido is just, oh man, it's the most beautiful practice. So it's a samurai practice. So we get to learn how to use like staffs and swords, bokens and joes, and it's a very formal martial art. So we get to sit in seiza, which is the Japanese style of sitting on your legs, and I just totally love it. So for me, outside of like the practice of Aikido, it teaches us about meeting each other, about being present, about breathing, about touching, about different body styles and rhythms, how to find softness through hardness. So the Tao, De Jing, was quite a big one for me growing up, which you can see reflected exquisitely in Aikido. So it was the last one to be founded of a long succession of martial arts. Martial being war, and then art, and yeah, I suppose like the Japanese and the Chinese and the Eastern way of fighting. It was art. It looked kind of graceful, and they followed a lot of engagement rules. When guns were invented, the samurais just kind of like scoffed at them because they said there was no art, really. And it had lost its sense of gracefulness, and realising that spirit is everything. And we'd moved from our creative mind, if you will, to a logical mind and that of separation. Whereas in Aikido, we recognise that we can't have someone attacking without someone receiving. So without one or the other, nothing can exist. So yeah, it's just this most beautiful, graceful practice. It's kind of made its way into 140 different countries and nations. It's just over 100 years old. It gets ridiculed quite a lot on YouTube by other martial arts that kind of have been brought up in the world of separation. So in that separation, we always use other people, and and other principles or beliefs to give ourselves a social standing, to say, yes, I am better than that, or you are better than that. But really, Aikido is the recognition that we are both everything and nothing at the same time. Um, the inextinguishable bellows between heaven and earth. So yeah, I just I've been so fortunate on this journey to have found Aikido. Running kind of balances it really well. Uh, yeah, and just the family that are there. It's so Sensei has the dojo just up the road, and then the dojo at Warwick University. So he pulls in lots of students from university, and like there are lots of mathematicians, physicians. We've got teachers and surgeons, policemen. It spans the whole of society and culture, but brings us together in this kind of in this arena of oneness, and we all get to bring in our own uniqueness, and out of those uniquenesses we form one body, which is Aikido. So back to the evolution of all things here, and with Aikido being the final martial art to be formed out of the time of separation and the story of separation, it leads us back into unity consciousness. And then permaculture does the same. So it was founded in the story of separation, but it leads us back into the story of unity consciousness. Veganism, or a plant-based diet, was born in the story of separateness, but that brings us back into harmony within our own bodies and the world around us, that we're kind of, we just share this planet with all of the other beings, and we're earthlings. And then the Jesus Fellowship, which kind of was born in the time of separation, or the story of separation, that is helping to lead people back to the story of unity consciousness and of Christ consciousness. So everything that's happened along our journey has kind of brought us to this point, and I strongly believe that we had to experience what hell was so that we could create heaven here on earth. And oh man, we're making some great gains. So yeah, for Sensei Mooney, Shiba Sensei and O Sensei, just thank you so much. For my Aikido family, my running family, for my spiritual family, for my Christ family, Joshua, Jesus, thank you so much. We are all making just great progress. So much to be happy about and look forward to. And know as we move towards 2019, that 2018 has just been a most incredible year of growth. It's not always pretty, but ultimately we're all heading in the right direction, and life is just, wow, it's a gift, hey, and a blessing. And yeah, I'm blessed to know you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you've got any questions, please feel free to get in touch. I'm always here. And other than that, you know, the best doctors in the world: exercise, diet, nature, sunlight, rest, water. So be good to yourself. You are the one expressing itself in your very unique way, and and you are loved, and we are loved, and we are Aikido. Many blessings, guys, and we look forward to seeing you out on the trail soon. Here on T-Trail, Nature's TV. Peace and love.